Hi metal lovers and creators of strong images. So today I will show you how to connect the Deity TC-1 timecode system with the Atomos timecode system. So in case you need it because you're working in a mixed timecode system environment or you want to provide timecode over Bluetooth. So check this out right after the intro. Okay guys, I created chapter markers again for this video, so feel free to click through. They are all in the description of this video, and if you like this type of content I'm producing, a like and subscription would be highly appreciated. Okay, so there are two main reasons from my perspective why you want to connect the Deity TC-1 timecode system with the Ultrasync or Atomos timecode system. Reason one is you simply have to, because you are in a mixed devices environment for the current job you need to do, and the second one is you need to provide timecode over Bluetooth, which is a Atomos proprietary protocol, and on the client side it has been implemented in some prosumer cameras, iPhone apps, and also some Tascam and Zoom audio recorders, which for me is the main reason I'm using or I need timecode over Bluetooth sometimes. Okay, and on the timecode generator side there is, up to my current knowledge, only one device available, which is the Ultrasync Blue, which is this handy device. And the system does not provide timecode over Bluetooth. So before you are confused, the Deity timecode system uses Bluetooth, but it's only for syncing the devices via the Sidus audio app. And this has got nothing to do with the timecode over Bluetooth protocol by Atomos. These are two completely separate, different things. Okay, so what's required? You need at least one Ultrasync One, one Ultrasync Blue, and an additional cable, which is a DIN 1.0/2.3 to 3.5 millimeter plug cable. And this cable is not provided with the Ultrasync One, so you have to purchase it separately. And why do you need two Ultrasync devices? It's pretty simple. The Ultrasync One has got no option for getting an external linear timecode feed. You need the Ultrasync One because it's all Atomos devices, they communicate to each other with a proprietary radio network. And so basically the Ultrasync One will get the external timecode via cable and transmit it to the Ultrasync Blue. Next one would be that if you want to sync these devices, so my recommendation is to sync the Ultrasync One to the Deity TC-1, because if you do it other way around, like the Ultrasync One would be the overall master for all devices, you would have to plug in every Deity device into the Ultrasync One at least once so that they can sync, which is a lot of work. And on the other side, there's also some chances that you are getting some errors in it, because if some device is not synced correctly, you would have a different time code. And if you do it the other way around, so like if one DD timecode is the master, you can use the Sidus Link app to Sidus audio app to sync all the DD devices, which is pretty handy. Okay. So now let's dive into the necessary configuration. So what we are going to do now is we are going to check the Ultrasync Blue if it's configured correctly, and has to be configured as client within the proprietary RF network of the Ultrasync or Atomos system. So it will receive the timecode of the Ultrasync One later on, which will act as a master. So to do this, you need to go into the menu, down to device mode. The device mode has to be set to RF client, which it is already. So confirm. Then next you need to check the channel, the RF channel. So you have to go to the RF settings, choose RF channel. I set this one to 13. You can choose any one. You just have to make sure that you configure the same one later on the Ultrasync One. So that's fine. I just repeat it so you can see that you have to confirm it if you change it. So channel, confirm above, and done. So the next thing and the last thing we need to do is, if you want to receive the user bits also from the other devices, we need to make sure that we set the user bits source to external, and it's done via the timecode menu entry, user bit source, and it has to be set to external. Confirm. And now you are done with the Ultrasync Blue. So next step is to configure the Ultrasync One. So what we need to do is that we need to configure the Ultrasync One that it works as master for the Ultrasync Blue. So the Ultrasync Blue will receive the timecode and the user bits from the Ultrasync One. And the Ultrasync One has to be configured to receive external timecode. And this is done via the LTC port, but it has to be configured. So it's not the sync port. And then we also have to make sure that the user bits are being received via the LTC port. So these are the configurations we need to do, which I will show you now. Step 1 is to go into the menu up to timecode mode. Set the timecode mode to external linear timecode input, which means it will receive timecode via the LTC port. Keep this to, or set this to continuous, which means that it will continue to run in free run mode as soon as you unplug the external source. This setting has to be set to TX on, which means transmission on, so it will transmit the timecode to the Ultrasync Blue via the internal RF network. Next, you can set the channel, so it's set to 13 already, so this one was set to 13, this is set to 13, so that's fine. Confirm. The next thing we need to do is, since we also want the user bits to be transmitted, we need to set this to external. So for this, go into the menu to TC generator, set user bits, up local or external user bits, use external source user bits. That's the correct setting. Confirm, and now you are done. It will receive timecode via the LTC port and also the user bits and transmit it to the Ultrasync Blue. Okay, so now you need to sync the Ultrasync One to one Deity TC-1 device. And there's one important note: if you got more than one Deity TC-1 device, okay, so like two, it's important that you sync these first. So for example, if you started this TC-1 device 5 minutes earlier than your later master, which would be this one, and if you sync this device you started earlier with the Ultrasync One, then you would sync a timecode that's 5 minutes older than the timecode of these devices after you sync them, if you do it after syncing these two. Okay, so it's very important, so let's do that first. I've got 3 Deity TC-1 timecode devices, as you can see, and they all run on different timecode at the moment, and they are indicating via the red flashing LED that they are not synced. So I will go into the Sidus Audio app and select the device that's being indicated as being the master. And then I go into the settings. So I'm fine with my frame rates, etc., etc., etc. What I will do now is to check the user bits. So I set these to a fancy number so that we can later check if the user bits have been transmitted correctly. And then go back. And now I will sync all devices. So now all devices are being synced, so they are running all on the same time code, and they are also indicating by the green flashing LED that they are all in sync. So all is fine and all is set up and all time codes are identical. So the next and final step is to sync the Deity TC-1 with the Ultrasync One. And as all Deity TC-1 devices are synced, it's not important which device you are using to sync. And to confirm that the user bits are being transmitted correctly, we will quickly check these on the Ultrasync One. So to check the user bits, I press up once. You can see all the user bits are all set to all 0. I will also take the Ultrasync Blue into frame. You can see what's happening. So they are in sync right now, right? You can see it's the same, it's the same timecode that's being displayed. That's because they are syncing already internally via the RF network. So next step is that I have to attach the cable, and I will choose one or take one Deity TC-1. So the only thing you have to check with the Deity TC-1 is that the time code is set, or the signal strength is set to L out, otherwise it will not work. Okay, And now watch carefully what's happening as soon as I'm connecting the cable. You see, within a split second, these clocks are in sync, and also these clocks are in sync, because the sync between these two devices is extremely quick. And one thing that also changed, this LED changed the flashing color from blue to green. It's flashing green as long as the cable is being connected. And if I unplug the cable, it goes into free run mode and it's flashing blue. Okay, and now we are quickly checking if the user bits have been synced correctly. As you can see, 551122, that's exactly what I set into the app. And let's also quickly check the user bits here. Okay, also 551122, so that's all fine. All are in sync. All had worked, so we are ready to go. So now we are done. Everything is in sync. The system is set up and it's working. And I've got one bonus configuration for you. So in case you want to use the Ultrasync One also to feed timecode via cable to another device of your production, like a camera, you can do this using the sync port, but you have to configure that. But before we do this, if you liked this video so far, please like and subscribe, would be highly appreciated. I'm working pretty hard on growing this channel, so I can concentrate even more on producing these types of video. So now let's dive into the configuration of the sync port. So for configuring the second port, the sync port, to send timecode, you have to go into the menu again, up once to sync generator, which is basically referring to this port, and then set sync operation mode and set it to LTC. I did this already before. You can see these are the other modes that are available, but simply make sure it's set to, or a lot of modes, to LTC. And then go to the sync generator again and make sure that you choose the correct level. So I set it to standard right now, and the other one is the high mode. So that's the same like the L mode and the A mode of the DD devices. So I go with standard. So now the second port of the Ultrasync One is feeding linear timecode. I also tested and confirmed that. I used the blue cable, which comes with the Ultrasync One and my FX30. And for the FX30, I've got this accessory cable you can get separately, which is basically a BNC to USB cable, especially for feeding timecode. And I also confirmed it with my Blackmagic 6kPro using this cable you already know from before in the video. Both is working fine, both cameras accept the timecode, everything is fine. So now that's it, guys. I hope you liked this video. Please again like and subscribe. See you in the next video, and until then, never forget to listen to more heavy metal. See you.